Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling more tired than when you went to bed? Or maybe by the time afternoon rolls around, you're already thinking about taking a nap. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, many of us find that our energy levels just aren't what they used to be. But here's the good news. You don't have to settle for constant fatigue. With a few simple habits, you can feel more energized, vibrant, and ready to take on the day, no matter your age. In this video, we'll explore 5 simple habits that can help you boost your energy and feel younger than ever. These are small changes that anyone can make, no matter where you are in your journey. Let's start with the first habit that could make a world of difference in how you feel day to day. The first habit might sound a bit simple, but trust me, it's one that many people overlook: staying hydrated. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I drink water, what's the big deal? But the truth is, as we get older, our bodies don't always give us the same thirst cues that they did when we were younger. We may not feel thirsty, even when we're dehydrated, and that can take a toll on our energy levels. Dehydration can leave you feeling sluggish, foggy, and even a little irritable. So make it a habit to drink water throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty. Aim for at least 8 glasses, but you might need a bit more depending on your activity level or health needs. And if plain water isn't your thing, herbal teas or flavored water are great alternatives. Next up, let's talk about the power of movement. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to run a marathon or join a high-intensity workout class, but gentle movement every day is crucial. You see, when we're active, even just a little, our bodies release endorphins, the feel-good hormones that naturally boost our mood and energy levels. It could be something as simple as a 20-minute walk, some light stretching, or even dancing around your living room to your favorite tunes. The key is consistency. You don't need to overdo it, but if you make movement a regular part of your routine, you'll notice a big difference in how you feel. If you've ever experienced a slump in the middle of the day, chances are you've had a drop in your blood sugar. This brings us to our next habit: eating balanced meals and snacks. The foods we eat directly affect our energy, and when we go too long without eating, our blood sugar drops, leading to that dreaded afternoon crash. To keep your energy steady throughout the day, aim to eat balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber. These nutrients help regulate your blood sugar and give you the sustained energy you need. And don't forget to snack. Healthy snacks like a handful of nuts, a piece of fruit, or some yogurt can keep you energized and satisfied between meals. It's all about keeping your body fueled with the right foods. Now that we've covered hydration, movement, and nutrition, let's take a moment to think about sleep. We all know how important it is to get enough rest, but as we age, sleep can become a little trickier. You might find that you wake up earlier than you'd like, or that you don't sleep as deeply as you once did. If that's the case, it's time to focus on quality sleep. Creating a bedtime routine that helps your body wind down is essential. Maybe that means dimming the lights an hour before bed, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals right before bed, and make sure your bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet. Prioritizing good sleep habits will leave you feeling more refreshed and ready to tackle the day ahead. And finally, let's not forget about the impact of stress. It can be hard to keep up with a busy schedule, manage relationships, or deal with life's challenges. But stress can seriously drain your energy. It's important to find ways to relax and recharge, whether that's through meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking a few moments for yourself each day. One of the best things you can do is practice mindfulness, being present in the moment and letting go of worries about the past or future. When you're mindful, you can relieve stress, improve your focus, and most importantly, restore your energy. So, now that we've talked about the first few habits, staying hydrated, moving regularly, eating balanced meals, improving your sleep, and managing stress, you're already on your way to feeling more energized. But we're not done just yet. There are a few more key habits to explore, and I'll be diving into those next. Now that we've covered some foundational habits to boost your energy, like staying hydrated, getting moving, eating balanced meals, improving sleep, and managing stress, let's take it a step further. It's time to dive into a couple of habits that might be a bit unexpected but can truly make a world of difference when it comes to feeling more energized and vibrant. Let's start with your social life. Now, you might be thinking, What does my social life have to do with my energy? Well, more than you might realize. As we age, it's easy to find ourselves retreating into our own little bubbles, especially if we're not as physically active or if our social circle has shrunk over time. But here's the thing. Human connection is one of the best ways to re-energize yourself. Spending time with loved ones, friends, or even engaging in community activities can actually give you a boost of energy. You see, social interactions help release endorphins, the same feel-good hormones that we get from exercise. It's that lift we feel when we're laughing with a friend or reminiscing with family. These moments of connection can reduce feelings of loneliness, which, let's be honest, can be draining in itself. They also keep your mind sharp and engaged, which can make you feel more alive and motivated. Of course, it's not just about any social interaction. It's about quality connections. You don't need to have a wide social circle, but nurturing close relationships with the people who truly matter to you can have a significant impact on your energy. It's the people who uplift you, who make you laugh, and who help you focus on the positive. These are the people who can fill your cup and leave you feeling recharged, even on the toughest days. And if you're not sure where to start, don't be afraid to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Rekindling old friendships or finding a local group that shares your interests can be a great way to reignite that spark of connection. Next, let's talk about mental stimulation. As we age, it's easy to fall into routines that don't challenge us mentally, especially when we're no longer working full-time or have fewer responsibilities. But the truth is, our brains need to be exercised just like our bodies do. In fact, staying mentally engaged is one of the best ways to keep your energy levels high. When we challenge our minds, whether it's by learning something new, solving puzzles, or even reading a good book, our brains release neurotransmitters that help us feel alert, focused, and energized. It could be something as simple as learning how to play a new instrument, picking up a hobby you've always wanted to try, or signing up for a class that piques your interest. And here's the kicker. Mental stimulation doesn't just boost your energy in the moment. Over time, it can help protect against cognitive decline, so you're not just feeling more energized now, but you're also setting yourself up for better brain health in the future. Think of it as a win-win. You're keeping your brain sharp, which in turn keeps your energy up, and you don't have to make it overwhelming. It's the small, consistent challenges that matter most. Whether it's learning a new language, doing a crossword puzzle, or even engaging in thoughtful conversations with others, keeping your mind active can make all the difference. Now let's move on to another factor that can sometimes be overlooked: setting boundaries. If you're anything like many of us, you might feel like you're constantly juggling 1,000 things, whether it's family commitments, social obligations, or other responsibilities. But here's the thing, constantly saying yes to everything can leave you feeling drained. It's easy to overextend yourself, especially when you're someone who wants to help or be there for others. However, without clear boundaries, you can find yourself feeling burnt out, exhausted, and simply lacking the energy to enjoy the things you truly love. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish, it's about protecting your own well-being and ensuring you have the energy to do the things that matter most to you. That might mean saying no to an invitation if you're already feeling overwhelmed, or telling a friend that you can't talk right now because you need some alone time to recharge. When you make your needs a priority, it becomes much easier to show up as your best self for others too. You don't have to give up your kindness or generosity, but you do need to be mindful of your limits. So take a moment to reflect on where you might need to establish some boundaries in your life. Whether it's in your relationships, at home, or in your social circles, being clear about what you can and can't do is a powerful way to preserve your energy. Another important piece of the puzzle is taking regular breaks. As we get older, we might find ourselves trying to power through the day without giving ourselves time to rest. We're used to pushing through tasks, finishing projects, and keeping up with the demands of life. But here's something crucial to keep in mind. Rest is just as important as work. In fact, overloading yourself without taking breaks can lead to burnout and, you guessed it, fatigue. It's not about sitting down for hours at a time, but about taking small intentional breaks throughout the day to recharge. Whether it's stepping outside for a few minutes of fresh air, sitting quietly with a cup of tea, or simply closing your eyes for a short period of time, these breaks help your body and mind reset. It's also important to recognize that our bodies have natural rhythms. After meals, it's perfectly normal to feel a bit of a dip in energy, which is why giving yourself time to rest after eating can actually help you feel more energized in the long run. It's all about balance between productivity and rest, work and relaxation, activity and downtime. By embracing this balance, you'll give yourself the best chance at feeling energized and refreshed day after day. So now that we've talked about the importance of social connections, mental stimulation, setting boundaries, and taking breaks, you might be starting to see how small shifts can make a huge difference in how you feel. It's about making your energy a priority, paying attention to the things that drain you, and actively seeking out what replenishes you. And that's something anyone, no matter their age, can work toward. All right, let's dive into part 3, and I'll finish up our conversation with some final thoughts that can really tie everything together. By now, you've learned that simple changes to your routine, whether they're physical, mental, or social, can all work together to give you a renewed sense of energy. But as we continue our journey, let's talk about a few more aspects of life that are absolutely crucial to keeping your energy levels high. These may seem small or simple, but don't underestimate their power to create a lasting impact. First up, we're going to talk about embracing mindfulness and gratitude. If there's one thing that can help you feel more energized and focused, it's paying attention to the present moment and appreciating what you have. I know it sounds a bit abstract, but hear me out. Life moves so fast, and as we get older, it's easy to focus on what's wrong or what's missing, rather than appreciating the richness of our lives in the here and now. But when you start practicing mindfulness, whether it's through a few minutes of quiet reflection, meditation, or just slowing down to savor a meal or a conversation, you give yourself permission to rest your mind. You stop the constant mental chatter that can sometimes drain your energy, and you create space for peace. And then there's gratitude. It's amazing how simply taking a moment to be thankful can instantly shift your mindset and energy. It could be something as simple as waking up and feeling grateful for the warmth of the sun, or the joy of a phone call from a friend. When we focus on the good, we feel lighter and more energized. That sense of appreciation for the little things around us helps us feel more connected to the world and less overwhelmed by the stresses of daily life. If you haven't yet, try starting a gratitude practice. Each day, take a minute to think of 3 things you're thankful for. You might be surprised at how quickly this can uplift your mood and help you approach the day with renewed energy. Another key piece in this puzzle is doing something you love every single day. It might sound obvious, but when was the last time you actually did something that brought you pure joy? As we age, it's easy to fall into routines where we're ticking off tasks and checking things off lists, but we forget to truly enjoy ourselves. The joy we get from doing something we love, whether it's a hobby, a creative project, or something as simple as listening to music or going for a walk in nature, can recharge our spirit in a way that nothing else can. If you haven't already, think about the things that light you up, the things that make you smile without any effort. Maybe it's painting, gardening, writing, knitting, or even spending time with your pet. Whatever it is, make sure you're giving yourself time to enjoy it. Not only will it recharge your batteries, but it will also remind you of the joy you still have within you, no matter your age. Now let's talk about something that might be a little more difficult for some of us: accepting change. This one can be tricky, but learning to embrace change is key to keeping your energy up. We've all heard the saying, the only constant is change, and while it may sound like a cliche, it's incredibly true. Whether it's changes in your health, lifestyle, or even your relationships, life is constantly evolving. It's easy to resist change, especially if it's unexpected or challenging. But here's the thing, change doesn't have to drain you. In fact, if you approach it with the right mindset, it can actually be energizing. When you stop fighting against change and start embracing it as a natural part of life, you free yourself from the mental and emotional exhaustion that comes with resistance. It can be liberating to let go of the old ways of thinking and to accept new opportunities or perspectives. Maybe it's learning new technology, adjusting to a different routine, or even rethinking the way you live your life. Whatever the change, welcoming it with an open mind can help you adapt, grow, and ultimately feel more energized. And speaking of change, there's a really powerful practice that goes hand in hand with it: self-compassion. We can be so hard on ourselves, can't we? It's easy to focus on our perceived flaws, mistakes, or things we wish we could do better. But here's the truth. Being kinder to yourself can make all the difference when it comes to maintaining energy. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would show a close friend. It's about giving yourself grace on the days when you don't feel your best and recognizing that you're doing the best you can. When we are kind to ourselves, we're not weighed down by guilt or shame, and we don't exhaust ourselves with self-criticism. Instead, we create a mental space where we feel empowered, capable, and ready to take on the next day with a positive outlook. If you're struggling with being kind to yourself, start small. Catch yourself when you're being self-critical, and instead of focusing on what went wrong, try reframing it in a more gentle way. It's all about shifting your mindset, and over time it becomes second nature. Finally, we can't forget about physical activity. I know we've touched on this earlier, but I want to emphasize just how important it is to make movement a consistent part of your day. You don't have to run marathons or go to the gym for hours. Just simple, consistent movement can make a world of difference in how you feel. Even a short walk every day or a few minutes of stretching can boost circulation, improve your mood, and enhance your overall energy levels. The best part, it's never too late to start. In fact, regular movement can actually help reduce the risk of many age-related health issues from arthritis to heart disease. If you've been feeling sluggish or drained, try adding a little more movement into your day, even if it's just getting up and walking around the house or doing a couple of gentle yoga poses. It doesn't have to be intense, it just has to be consistent. So as we wrap up this conversation, I hope you can see that boosting your energy isn't about some big, complicated changes. It's about small, meaningful adjustments that, when combined, can make a profound difference. Whether it's making time for your loved ones, setting boundaries, embracing mindfulness, or accepting change, every step you take toward nurturing your well-being will add to your energy in ways you may not have expected. Remember, life after 60 doesn't have to be about slowing down. It can be a time to thrive, to grow, and to feel more vibrant than ever. The power to recharge and renew your energy is always within reach, and it starts with the small, intentional choices you make every day. Thank you for taking this time with me today. I hope you feel inspired and ready to put some of these ideas into practice. Your energy, your vitality, and your happiness are worth it. Here's to living your best life at any age.